Let's bring in White House Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly. Anna, great to have you back on the program. Welcome to you.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
All right. Can you give us an update on this sweeping federal investigation into this alleged Minnesota fraud?
Absolutely. Well, the president has, of course, been looking very closely at rooting out this waste, fraud, and abuse that is being contributed by this Somali population in Minnesota. And that was a totally ridiculous quote that I heard you guys play from Tim Walz, because this is a massive issue. I know the Small Business Administration just this week has announced that there are multiple Paycheck Protection Program fraudulent examples. That was a program, remember, that was intended to serve small businesses during COVID. Now we're finding that there's potentially $430 million of fraudulent payments that were issued to small businesses in Minnesota. And by the way, I know Nick Shirley did a fantastic job highlighting some of the fraud at daycare centers, but it's not just daycare centers. That's why the SBA is looking at these small business loans. You have CMS looking at Medicaid payments, Department of Labor looking at unemployment insurance. This is truly a whole of government effort to ensure that these massive fraudulent payments intended to serve American citizens are not being distributed fraudulently.
Anna, you mentioned the SBA and the actions that are being taken, with the SBA suspending nearly 7,000 Minnesota borrowers over this suspected fraud. Kelly Loeffler, the SBA administrator, said this on cutting that funding amid the allegations. Listen here.
We have gone back through loans that the Biden administration tried to forgive that were known to be fraudulent. That's why we already had 13,000 that we knew had been marked as fraudulent. We're able to find quickly 8,000 of those and make sure that they cannot benefit from our services. We're going to do that state by state. We are going to make sure, now that we understand the breadth and the depth and the method of these crimes, that we hold more states accountable.
A step further, this is the HHS Assistant Secretary for Family Support, Alex Adams, on the gravity of this alleged fraud. Listen.
Every dollar stolen by fraudsters is a dollar that is not going to a child who's not getting access to early learning. It's a dollar stolen from families who aren't able to get workforce supports that are necessary. So we had to step in. This doesn't just impact Minnesota. This impacts all American taxpayers, because we send $185 million a year out to Minnesota, and we deserve accountability for the use of those dollars.
From both of those, we hear we're going state by state. Loeffler said this is just the first state. Is that a preview of what's to come?
Absolutely. Of course, the president has long been prioritizing tackling this waste, fraud, and abuse across our country. And Special SBA Administrator Loeffler is exactly right. These are crimes that are being committed. Again, Paycheck Protection Program was a crucial program that this president started in his first term to ensure that small businesses could keep their employees on payroll during COVID. So it's absolutely egregious, the fact that these programs were being abused thanks to these individuals who are taking money away from hardworking American taxpayers, and these programs intended to serve American citizens. So yes, we are absolutely looking at this fraud anywhere it could possibly occur, and that's why the entire administration and some of those agencies I mentioned are all coming together to take part in this effort, not just talk about this issue, but ensure that these individuals are held accountable.
We know you'll keep us posted on that. Meanwhile, as we noted, Nicolas Maduro is saying Venezuela is ready to make a deal with the U.S. on drugs and oil, we are told, after these military strikes. There are critics who are saying this isn't going to happen. This is an MS Now analyst comparing Maduro wanting to make a deal to finding a horse head in his bed. Listen.
If the model is that Donald Trump puts extreme pressure on foreign governments that he feels are not behaving in a way that serves America's interests, and then that government changes its behavior, maybe this is the model for America going forward, and one that works.
Maybe it is. Maybe Maduro woke up this morning and found a horse head in his bed. You know, it's kind of the Godfather method of persuasion.
Your reaction to that, Anna?
That's a very bizarre quote, because everybody knows, and this administration has long held the position, which is true, that Maduro is not the legitimate ruler of Venezuela. He is the leader of a narco-terrorist cartel. He stole an election to get into power, and he uses that power to oppress the Venezuelan people. And so he is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. And so this president, of course, has long been paying attention to making sure we are tackling this scourge of narco-terrorism committed by narco-terrorist cartels in Venezuela and in the Southern Hemisphere. And so that's why he's taking decisive action, taking on drug boats that are smuggling these illicit narcotics by sea. He's also, of course, secured the border, ensuring that those drugs cannot come into our country and poison Americans by land. And so this president has all options at his disposal. It's natural that Maduro would want to talk, but it's up to the president on what he wants to do as he continues to take on this horrific scourge of narco-terrorism that is killing tens of thousands of Americans in our country every single year.
All right, we'll see where that all goes next, obviously with a big week ahead. Anna, final question to you on America 250 and the celebrations kicking off. We saw the Washington Monument light up on New Year's Eve, what will be kicking off a year of celebrations. What is in store?
There's a ton in store. This president, of course, is very personally excited to be in office during America's 250th anniversary. And so, as you mentioned, the Washington Monument was recently lit up as a birthday candle to start off this really exciting year in 2026. And so I think along the way this year, you're going to see the Great American State Fair. That's going to bring merchants and businesses from all across the country to Washington, D.C. to highlight what makes their states wonderful. The Patriot Games, bringing together athletes from across the country. I think you're going to see a ton of really uniting, inclusive programming for all Americans, because this is about celebrating our shared story of our country. And so I know the president is very excited about it, and the entire administration is working very hard to make all of these events a tremendous success.
There will be big events kicking off all over the country throughout the year. America 250. Anna, great to have you here. Please do come back soon. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.